Hi guys, welcome back to Practice With Me. We're still working from the Standard of Excellence, Book 1. And let's see, what page are we on now? 10? We are on page 10 now. We're moving right along and it's beautiful, isn't it? Alright, so we're coming back to the ties. Do you remember what a tie is? The tie is the curved line on the top that connects two notes of the same pitch. Tied notes are played as one unbroken note. That also means don't take any breaths in between that. All right, so our first exercise, we're learning the note G, which we learned earlier in our regular series, and we had tips and tricks on the G. So anywho, just as a refresher, the fingering is thumb down, and then it's the all three on the left hand, but pinky still up. And then it's pinky is down on the right hand. And this G is higher on the staff. So the one that we had learned is this. This G is an octave higher. It has the same exact fingering. So, how do we change the note? We change it with our mouth and our embouchure. We want faster air for a higher pitch. So, with the low G, my embouchure is a little bit more relaxed. The higher G, my embouchure is a little bit tighter so I can get a faster air. I'm not pushing more air from my diaphragm, I just have a tighter mouth. So I'll try to get close enough where you can kind of see the difference without being weird. Sorry, it's kind of weird, but. So this is low G. And this is the higher G. You see how I'm slightly pulling from the corners of my mouth? It's slight, but it's enough to make that air go faster, so that's what you need to work on too. But you know what? I think you will. I know you will. What am I talking about? Okay, so this is a warm-up. Now, we haven't really done any warm-ups. So what is a warm-up? A warm-up is just to get your flute warmed up because, to be honest, your tone can change whether you just picked up your flute and started playing it versus if you've been playing it for 5 minutes. The air can warm up your flute and it can change the tones. Warming up is also your fingers so they don't feel so stiff. They can feel nice and relaxed. And your embouchure to where you can also feel nice, relaxed, comfortable. But anywho, we're still learning a new note, so it's still a form of exercise to us. So, exercise number 30. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great! Did you see the breath mark? And did you wait for my cutoff? Great. And were you doing okay with the octave higher G? Great. Okay, let's do it again, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Did you catch the breath marks? Did you wait for my cutoff? Great. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. It helps a little bit, at least in my opinion, if we're already kind of working in that register. So this is like the mid register, part of the mid register. And so, you know, just going from E to F, we're already in that register. We're not playing in the lower register. So to me, that helps. All right. And we're moving on to the next exercise. So we have, it's written in common time. Remember, that's 4/4. And we have ties in here. And the ties, we just hold it out extra. So, for example, in measure 2, you see that we have a half note and a quarter note. And it's tied together. So that means we're going to hold that D out for 3 beats. Okay? We also have a breath mark and we have a repeat. So, exercise number 31 with the repeat. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great! How was that? There's a little bit of embouchure control needed in this exercise between going from D to G, isn't there? Sometimes I can feel myself wanting to pull a little too tight and I'm gonna get a squeak. So you might have gone through that. Might have done something like that. And that is a real thing. We'll get to that way, way later though. So right now it's just all about air control and our embouchure control. So let's do this one again, shall we? With the repeat. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how was that? Do you feel like you're in control or are you squeaking? If you're squeaking, just keep practicing. Maybe take it a little slower. Maybe take a tad bit of a rest in there. Maybe an 8th rest. I know we haven't learned 8th rests in here, but maybe just a real quick, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong note. Just so you can take a little time to readjust your mouth. Give that a try, then come back to it once you feel better. But for now, we're gonna do it one more time. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, wonderful. All right, our next exercise is another duet. I love the duets. All right, so we have some breath marks in here and we end in a frittata. So for right now, why don't we both play 32A? And even though it's not Christmas, we pretty well know this song, so that helps too. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Did you remember to breathe where the breath marks are marked? And did you hold on the frittata? Great. Let's do it again, you and me, both on 32A. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. All right, let's do 32B, both of us. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. All right, let's play it one more time together. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you watching for the fermata? Great. Okay. Now, before we both play our separate parts, let's look ahead so we can kind of know what to expect. Now, when we're looking at A and B, what are some things that we have that are the same? Well, most of our breath marks are the same. So if you look at A and B, our first breath mark is the same. But then, after the next two measures, top A has a breath mark, part B does not. And then we have the same breath mark the following measure. What else do we have as the same? We both have the fermata. So we're both going to hold out until the cutoff. What else is the same? Though part B has the C for common time, both are written in 4/4 time. And then we have some rhythms that are the same. Some. We have the first two measures are the same. Then the following measure, so measure 3, is also the same rhythm. And then we don't have the same rhythm. So let's talk about some differences we have. Because most of these duets have been pretty well the same except for just different notes. This one's different. So if you look ahead on measure 1, 2, 3, 4, where on top A we have a whole note, but part B has all quarter notes. So that's not going to have quite the same feel as the other pieces. And then the following measure, the top A is all quarter notes and the bottom part has rests in it. So this is going to be interesting, yet really fun. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You are gonna play 32A because that's the one you're familiar with. And I only know that because that's the melody. The melody is like the main part. And we all know the song Jolly Old St. Nicholas, and that's the part we know. So you're going to play 32A. I'm going to play 32B. Just so you can also hear and get the feel for what our duet is like. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How cool was that? Especially when you were holding that whole note out and I had the quarter notes. That sounded great, didn't it? Let's do the same thing again. So you're gonna play 32A, I'm gonna play 32B. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I played your part. I'm sorry. Let's start over again. Sorry. Ready? You're playing the top part, I'm playing the bottom part. I gotta tell myself that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Okay. Now we'll switch parts. I just wanted you to play the bottom part because you know what? Sometimes the harmony is more fun than the melody. All right, so I'm going to play 32A. This time you play 32B. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. How did you feel about that part? Which part do you favor? Why? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's do it again. So I'm going to play 32A. You're going to play 32B. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. Those duets are so fun. Okay, so something I forgot because I was so excited about the duet was I forgot that we earned an achievement on exercise 31. So let's take a look and see what we went through. So that was exercise 31. We learned notes, rhythm, and tone. I would say so, especially with that G. Okay, moving forward on to exercise number 33. Look at our time signature. What do we have? We have 2-4. Now, in our previous music theory session, we just went over the time signature 2-4. So, can you tell me what this time signature 2-4 means? 2-4, we have, remember, our top number is how many beats are in a measure. So normally we have 4 beats in a measure, but this time we only have 2 beats in a measure. And our bottom number is still 4. So that still means the quarter note still gets the beat. So not so much worries there. There's not a whole lot of difference. You just have to remember to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our difference. There's also a couple things rhythmically we're going to see a little bit different too. We're not going to see a whole note in 2-4 because a whole note is 4 beats. We don't have 4 beats in 2-4 time. So you'll only see half note in anything smaller than a half note. Okay, and also looking ahead in this next piece, this piece is more than just the one line. It goes on to the next one. So, how do you know when the song actually ends? We have the double bars at the end. So if you look on the top line here, you see it only has one line at the end. There's a little note that says, keep on playing. That's because it's not the double bar. The double bar lets us know that it's the end of the song. So now you know if you didn't know. Okay, and the book wants us to write in the counting and clap the rhythm before we play. So why don't we do so? Let's count this first. And remember, this is in 2. All right. And even though there are ties in this, we'll still count it over. So for our first tie, it's going to be 1, 2, 1 still. It's not going to be 3. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Crud. The breath mark threw me off. Those breath marks do a lot. I'm sorry. The breath mark is not a count, so that means it's 1, 2. All right, let's do that again because I'm the one who messed up. If you got it, great job. Maybe you should be teaching me. Okay, from the top of this song, Amigos. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, rest. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, rest, end. There we go. Made it through this time. I gotta just not pay attention to those breath marks during those times. All right. Now we're going to clap the rhythm. All right, ready? 1, 2. How did you do? I should have mentioned before we clapped that since we have the tie, it's like a 3 because it's the same note. So we won't be tying any differently. It would act like it's 3 beats. So let's do that one more time since I didn't make the mention. And if you got it the first time, wonderful. You're on it. If you didn't, that's okay. We're still learning a lot, and we haven't hit ties that much, especially when it comes to counting and rhythms. So let's clap this one more time, and when we have the ties, our ties are going to be worth 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Great. Did that make more sense and feel better? Wonderful. All right, let's play it now. All right, ready? 1, 2. Great, how did you do? Did you remember to play the line underneath? Also, did you breathe for the breath marks? Did you make it all the way? If not, that's okay. I had a moment where I struggled and I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. I did though, just barely. All right, let's do it again, shall we? Ready? 1, 2. Did you feel better about it? This time I remembered to take more of a breath when there was that first rest. That's what, I didn't take a full breath the first time. Second time I did, and I was able to make it through, no problem. All right, let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2. Great job. All right, moving on to our next one. We're still in the time signature of 2/4. We have still a few breath marks, and other than that, and a couple ties. We have nothing new in this exercise. All right, ready? 1, 2. Wonderful. What's another name for that song? What we traditionally know it as? Oh, McDonald. Yeah, the name they have in here is Farm Out. That's funny. Okay, so how did you do? Did you catch all the breath marks? Were you able to hold out your ties? Wonderful. Let's do it again, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, this is in the time signature of 2, silly goose. That was my fault. See, I'm only human and I make mistakes too, even though I teach this stuff. But we make mistakes all the time. All right, ready? 1, 2. Great. All right, let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2. Wonderful. Are you able to make it through your breaths? I struggled a little bit in that midsection. I cut that half note just a tad bit short. I didn't quite make it. Once again, I didn't take a full breath on that breath mark. It happens. Okay, so last exercise for the day, number 35. There's a little note here that says, keep your fingers close to the keys. What does that mean? Well, I think that just means, when your fingers are up, don't do weird things with them. So like, if I'm playing a D, for example, my fingers should just remain fairly close. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't tuck them under, anything like that. They should just naturally be kind of up and close. So if I need to put them down, however so, they just go up and down with ease. I don't have to feel for them. I don't have to stretch or move. I don't know who's doing that. That seems like it takes a lot more effort to move your hands like that. But we never know. If you're one of those people, you're kind of talented. But we want to get into good habits off the bat so we don't have to backtrack. So if you are one of those people, also take notice and just relax, man. Just relax. All right, let's do this last exercise, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. How did you do? That one took a little thinking power for just the jumps a little bit, and the breath marks, the fingering, and the air control. Took a little thinking. But that's good because they're not always like the way we've been practicing, where it's just kind of slowly goes up, slowly comes back down. It's not always like that. In fact, a lot of times it's not. Sometimes it may just jump around. Sometimes you go low register to really high register. So it's good to get into practice of these changes. All right, let's do it again, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? To me, it just kind of seems like if I relax a little bit more and think a little less, it's a little easier. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but when I start thinking about it, I get a little panicky in my head, and then I start to squeal and play in the wrong thing. So it's just relax, be confident, we got this, flowy, and go. All right, let's do it one more time, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. I slowed it down just a little, just so you could get a little more comfortable in the feel. All right. Now, we also earned an achievement. So let's take a look at what we achieved. So that was exercise 35. 35, we achieved notes, rhythm, and hand position. Oh, hand position, that's one I'm still working with too. I know that I do it wrong and I try to think about it. So just remember, comfortable feel. This thumb here is the thumb that gets me in trouble. And I know you've seen it a couple times. I like to hold my flute like this, and that is wrong. it needs to be like this. Thumb needs to be pretty well perpendicular with your index finger. You see? Like that. It's a little hard to like that. Not like this. That's the way I like to play. I've gotten in trouble a lot for it with my flute teacher back in college. Whew, she was on my case for that all the time. And that is, I'm not gonna lie, it's such a hard habit to break. I'm still obviously working on it because even when I'm reviewing these videos, I can see it's like I'll start off like this and then I can like, oops, you know, and it's like I'll slowly slide it. So that's something I'm still working on. I want you to be able to work on it now so you don't have to try to fix this problem 10, 11 years later when you're trying to become something bigger than just playing in the middle school and high school band, you know? So anyway, keep working hard. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.